Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back in today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is my final video on Overlay Fantasy for this week, Overlay DFS for the week. This is going to be my $20 slate picks, so let's hope we can hit these picks right. So, are you guys tired of having to pick the perfect player at every single position in order to win at Salary Cap DFS? Are you tired of your salary cap lineup being out of the running to win the money in the first 5 minutes of Sunday's games? Does playing Salary Cap DFS feel like a job and not even a game? Do you want a fantasy game where pros with 115 lineups and computer programs can't dominate? OverlayDFS.com has a new revolutionary start-sit game for fantasy sports. They are the home of the single entry GPP. How to play? You make 12 simple start-sit decisions from the 30 matchups presented on your screen, like you can see here. A win, loss, or tie will be awarded to your overall record for each decision. Rewards the top 10% of users with 9 times your buy-in. 12-0 records win the progressive GTD bonus that you can see right here, $5,940. All matchups are player versus player. Who will have more fantasy points? Usually, an 8-4 record is good enough to get that money. Sometimes 7-5. Other weeks, 9-3. It all just depends on the week you are playing. So you make 12 picks from the matchups presented on your screen, like Matt Ryan versus Tom Brady, or Gardner Minshew versus Kirk Cousins, and many, many more. The object is to stay consistent and finish in the top 10% of the field to win 9 times your buy-in until the stars align. You hit that beautiful 12-0. Right now, if you go perfect 12-0 in the $109 game, you could win over $26,000. They have buy-ins at all levels. If no one hits the perfect 12-0 record, the progressive bonus keeps on going and growing and growing until it gets hit. It's like the super contest, but for DFS. Don't get shut out. Visit www.overlaydfs today. Now, we are going to get into my picks, the greatest picks on this website. So, I've already done this once. I did the $2 one, but now we're gonna be super try hard, super locked in, and I'm gonna give you guys the hottest picks for today, the absolute heat picks for today. Now, the first game we are going to hit on here is this is a bit of a toss-up here, but I'm gonna go with my gut on Cortland Sutton versus Emmanuel Sanders. Now, in my rankings, I have Emmanuel Sanders rated higher, but I'm trying to hit those touchdowns, and I know Cortland Sutton's going to hit those touchdowns, so we're locking him in. I think he's going to finish above Emmanuel Sanders. Here we have Michael Thomas versus Allen Robinson. This is far too easy for me. Allen Robinson might be in a good matchup. People may be talking him up, but at the end of the day, Chase Daniel is still his QB. Mark Ingram versus Le'Veon Bell. This is the case of either going this is just an easy one for me. I do like Le'Veon Bell a lot this week. I could see him being a top 5 guy, but if he keeps getting wrapped up behind the line, he's just not going to be able to do anything. I think Mark Ingram is the safer bet here. Joe Mixon versus David Johnson, both in two good sides of this game. This game is just good as a whole. I think it's going to be a very high scoring matchup, but I do think at the end of the day, Mr. David Johnson will emerge victorious on the points scoring. Even though I have Joe Mixon ranked higher, I think that typically my rankings they're going to be right, but not exactly right. My opinion changes. I recorded that video 2 days ago. Now I think David Johnson may end up doing better. Joe Flacco versus Kyle Allen. This is easy. Kyle Allen, the LA Chargers defense is good. The Jacksonville Jaguars without Jalen Ramsey is going to be a dumpster fire. Leonard Fournette versus Aaron Jones. I'm going to go with Fournette. It seems like they're just going to keep feeding him every single game, and he's just going to absolutely dominate. So we got a few picks still left here. Let's go with Greg Olsen versus Jimmy Graham. To me, that's easy. Greg Olsen. Now, this is all based upon who scores that touchdown. Will it be Greg Olsen against Jacksonville, or will it be Jimmy Graham versus the Cowboys? I think it'll be Greg Olsen. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs over Ronald Jones. Now, Josh Jacobs is going up against a tough Chicago defense, but I cannot rely on Ronald Jones. When I put my money down, I'm not relying on that man in the slightest. Here we have another tough one here. We got Mr. Mariota versus Daniel Jones. Now, I do think at the end of the day, Daniel Jones will score more points, but I don't think either of these guys not in real fantasy, obviously there's real fantasy, but in like your season-long type deal, I don't think either of them in Week 5 are going to score all that many points. Carson Wentz versus Phillip Rivers. I think Carson Wentz isn't too good of a matchup against the Jets to pre-form. I like Brady over Matty Ice. Brady is in a really good matchup. Now we are in, and we got to get our 3 alternate picks. We've made our 12 picks. Now we got to make the 3 alternates in case someone gets hurt. Let's go with Evans over Godwin. A lot of people are going to be on Godwin. We're going to go with White over Michelle. That's pretty easy. I don't like Michelle unless he hops in the end zone. And then we're going to go with Sanu over Ridley. Oh, Mike Evans was our final pick. That's fine because we think he's pretty safe. But I don't think he's safer than James White. So we're going to lock James White in for there. We are going to put Mike Evans as the alternate, because I don't feel as super duper confident in that. And I'm going to go with Alshon over Ertz. Ertz hasn't really been doing anything all this year. So my final picks are, we got Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton versus Emmanuel Sanders. Michael Thomas over Allen Robinson. Mark Ingram over Le'Veon Bell. DJ over Mixon. Kyle Allen over Flacco. Fournette over Jones. G. Reg, the third leg. Olsen over Jimmy Graham. Josh Jacobs over Ronaldo Jones. Daniel Jones over Marcus Mariota. Carson Wentz over Philip Rivers, Tom Brady over Matty Ice, and James White over Sony Michel. And our alternates are Sanu over Ridley, Evans over Godwin, and Alshon over Zach Ertz. So thank you guys all for watching this video. I am going to submit the picks. You guys are going to see me actually pay the money right there. Boom, it's in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to come play with me. This video is getting released an hour before the games, an hour and a half before the games. You can still get in. Come play with me. I'm also in the $2.5 one, so you can see who's the real big man here. Is it me? Is it you? We'll see at the end of the day. Maybe you guys can beat me. You probably can. So, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. There will be a live stream soon. I don't know when you're watching this. I'm probably live streaming now. Have a great rest of your goddamn day. Good luck today. OverlayDFS.com. Check it out. Link down below in the description.